Hello everyone, my name is Brooke, and today I'll be presenting an overview of the Moundbuilder cultures. These cultures thrive from about 800 to 1670 CE across the American Midwest, Southeast, Great Lakes, and Appalachian regions. These societies include, I'm going to try my best to pronounce these, Cahokia, Moundville, Spiro, and Etowah, all of which produce sophisticated art and monumental architecture. So today during this presentation, we'll explore their culture, art, and architecture and discuss how these societies were connected across such a large geographic area. So for time and region overview, as I said, the Moundbuilder cultures thrive from about 800 to 1670 CE, and they were located in the Midwest, Southeast, Great Lakes, and Appalachians. And they were known for their platform, mounds, plazas, and the centers. And many of these major settlements were located along rivers like the Mississippi, Ohio, and Tennessee. This provided fertile land for agriculture and allowed easy transportation for trade. And then around 800 CE, the maize increased and allowed populations to grow and complex chiefdoms to form, and which centralized political and religious leadership. And by 1050 CE, Cahokia, near present-day St. Louis, became the largest city in North America. The scale and similarity of mounds, plazas, and the centers suggest that these societies were not isolated by any means. The chiefs controlled governance and ritual, while long-distance trade networks helped spread materials, art styles, and religious beliefs. So this demonstrates shared political, social, and religious connections across the regions. So for the cultural background, for the government, religion, economy, and society, the government moundbuilder societies were organized into hierarchical chiefdoms led by hereditary chiefs. These leaders held both political and religious authority and controlled labor for constructing mounds, maintaining trade networks, and performing rituals. And then for the religion, it was centered on three-tiered cosmos, which there was an upper, a middle, and an underworld realms. Ritual specialists and elites led ceremonies tied to agriculture, warfare, and renewal cycles. Mythical beings like the birdman and serpent appear in art to reference or to reinforce cosmological ideas and the authority of elites. Economy, the maize agriculture formed the backbone of the economy, supplemented by hunting, fishing, and gathering. During the long-distance trade, this helped move copper from the Great Lakes, shells from the Gulf Coast, and mica from the Appalachian Mountains. Trade allowed the spread of artistic styles, religious symbols, and cultural practices. For society, social hierarchy was clear. Elites controlled religious and political life, while commoners supported construction and agriculture. Artifacts like engraved bottles, copper plates, and shells not only display elite status, but also reflect the significance. For architecture, you can see here I have three pictures, which going from left to right. On the left, I have the platform mounds. In the middle, I have the conical mounds. And then on the right, I have ridgetop mounds. So the platform mounds were flat-topped and often held temples or elite residents, serving as political centers. The middle picture were usually burials, reflecting social hierarchy and beliefs about the afterlife. And then the right one, which are the ridgetop mounds, were used for showing knowledge of solar cycles. So this is a picture of the Monk's Mound. This is the largest earthwork in the Western Hemisphere, built between 900 in 1200 CE. It served as a ceremonial and political center of Cahokia. Its construction required coordinated labor from thousands of people, reflecting the organizational ability and authority of the rulers. The mound's size and placement at the city center shows its importance for governance, ceremony, and social cohesion. And then here is my artwork cited. And next up, we have the burger figurine, which it's also from Cahokia, and it depicts a woman associated with agriculture and earth renewal. She sits on a serpent or fairline-like creature connected to the underworld. This piece highlights the mound builders' connection between mythology, fertility, and leadership, showing how elite art reinforced religious and political ideas. Next up, we have the Moundville, and this is an engraved bottle. As you can see, there's some engraving done on it. And this engraved bottle from Moundville features serpent imagery tied to the underworld and transformation. Moundville was a major ceremonial center, and its pottery is known for fine line engraving. As you can see, there's the engravement marks. And this artwork shows how mound builders use art to communicate political power and cosmological beliefs. Next up, we have the copper plate, which this shows, you can see there's like a horse and they're riding it. And it shows, it was the plate, the plate depicts the birdman, a falcon warrior of the southeastern complex, created with repose. It likely belonged to elites to display status, ancestry, and religious authority. This artwork shows how mound builders used art to communicate political power and cosmological beliefs as well. And then this is a spiral shell engraving. This engraved shell from Spiro demonstrates intricate iconography and exceptional craftsmanship. The shell objects were highly valued, traveled long distances through trade, and were central to elite ceremonial life. They reflect the widespread cultural and religious connections across the Mississippian sites. And then here is my works cited page. And then at the end is my discussion question, saying that given that mound builder cultures 1670 CE span the Midwest, Southeast, Great Lakes, Appalachian Mountain regions, and built platform mounds, plazas, and centers, what does the scale and similarity of these constructions suggest about their social, political, and religious connections? Thank you for watching and listening.